Just like the world around us, your mixes need a sense of space, whether it be far or really close. Let's dive into a piece of affordable gear that'll give your mixes the depth it needs. Hey everybody, it's Sammy, your favorite Ozark Canadian. And this right here is the TC Electronic M100, a high quality, affordable reverb unit. That's right, it only costs $100. I've wasted way more money in the past on plugins I didn't even end up using or actually didn't need. If you've got a nice little analog workflow like this, maybe you're a 4-track guy, or you run a nice reel-to-reel setup, or you've got one of these sweet Tascam Hi8 recording machines, well, this thing will take care of all your needs. I was just looking for something real simple, you know? And a lot of the options out there, well, they had way too many features. They're full rack spaces or even bigger. And they cost a lot of money, and Sammy doesn't have a lot of money, so this is the one we landed on. Why don't we go in and dive into this thing and see what all the features are. Now for a quick overview of all the features and controls on this little guy. We've got an input section so you can set the gain of your signal coming in, and it even has a signal input and then a nice little overload button so you know when you're coming in too hot. You got your output control, which can go from minimum to maximum, and then you've got a nice little dry to wet mix selector so you can have your mix all the way dry, or you can turn it up a little bit, go halfway, a little bit of dry, a little bit of wet, or you can go all the way wet. And then you got a nice handy little bypass button right here. Here you have your multi-selector for all the different options that you have, for all the different multi-effects, and there's a lot. We've got cathedral, a chorus and reverb, a delay and reverb, a pitch shifter, rotary, phaser, a flanger, a chorus, a delay, ambience, reverse, gated reverse, gold plate, chamber, club, and concert. That's already too many options, but it's great to have. We got a great little kit of effects here. And then finally we have this parameter control, which for each individual thing you choose on the selector, it will change the sound of it. So maybe it'll change the delay time, maybe it'll change the warmth or darkness of your reverb. Pretty much you just turn this knob and see what sounds good. And then you've got a handy little button here, it's tap select. That's so you can choose when you're doing delay, the timing. You could sync it up. On the back of this unit, you got your power input, you've got a foot switch input, which can be real handy for you folks that are playing guitar or maybe using this for vocals live. You can choose whether it's on or off with a foot switch. You've got your outputs, left and right. Then you've got your inputs. You got a left or for mono, or you can do a stereo input left and right. Pretty sweet. Let's go on to getting there connected to our mixer. First thing we want to do is we need to feed the reverb with something to reverberate. So we're going to use aux send 1 on our mixer. That's going to send audio to our reverb unit. So we're going to choose audio input left 1. Now we're sending audio to our reverb unit. Then we want a nice stereo return. So we're going to patch out of our reverb unit left and right, and we're going to plug the left into return 1 on our mixer, left and right. And then lastly, got to plug in the power so that we can actually use the thing. Okay, for a little more control, what I like to do is instead of using a stereo return, if I have the space on my mixer, I like to actually send the reverb back from the reverb unit into a left and right channel on my mixer. So right would be channel 10, and we'll put the left side on channel 9. The reason I like to do this is because now we have fader control and pan control and EQ control of our reverb. It just gives you way more flexibility when it comes down to mixing. And finally, if you'd like to just patch your reverb into one channel, there's an easy option to do that. You just need one of these insert cables. You plug one end here into the insert of the channel that you'd like to have reverb. So this would be channel 4, which in our track is the lead vocal. Then all you would do is plug tip end into your here and your output here. There you go. Now you could use the dry and wet ratio controls to help control how much reverb was on your track. But let's go back here to the first way. Okay. Which was aux 1 and then output of left into channel 9, output or input of 10 into the right output. Okay, now that we're back patched up, let's go back up top there and listen to a mix and listen to all the features this great reverb unit has to offer. All right, now that we got it all connected, let's go ahead and run a mix through this sucker. Now if you remember, we patched it into aux 1, which means anytime we turn up any of the knobs for aux 1, it will send that to the reverb. So for example, if we want a little reverb on our vocal, we just would turn up the knob on aux 1 until we like how it sounds. Maybe we want a little bit on the overheads on our drums or the guitars or the harmonies, so on and so forth. And if you remember, we patched it back. The output from our reverb unit is coming to channel 9 and 10 on our mixer, which is right here, left and right verb. I've got them panned, hard left and right. I've got a low cut on right now. Let me take this EQ. Let me level out this EQ so you can hear it. I'm gonna take the low cut out so you can just hear the actual reverb unit. The gain's set at unity, so it should just be a clean signal coming back. Let's go ahead and push play. This is another song by our friends from Patient Eyes, a little slow jam they did called Gasoline, and I think it'd be perfect to try on this reverb. All right, we're gonna push play on here. We're gonna start with the top setting on our reverb unit, the Cathedral. I'm just gonna level everything out. I've got my input set, output, and I'm gonna leave the mix at wet, 100% wet, just so that we can fully hear the reverb unit. We're not clouding it up with any of the dry mix here. So, okay, here comes the vocal. This is just a dry, so let's bring in a little of this Cathedral and see how it changes the sound. I'm gonna turn up aux 1 on channel 5. A deep understanding and I just that's nice, it's got a nice bass to it. Backup vocal. Let's give them a little. It's probably a little overdone, but then if we turn this parameter, see the decay time. And you can play around with that in your mix, that'd be nice. Okay, let's try something else here. Let's go right to our drums. Turn these down. That's gonna be a little crazy on drums probably, but let's see here, concert. That's a nice, it's got a nice sound to it. Let's see your club. That's a little shorter, maybe like a room. You could get a nice, you know, snare sound out of that right there. Chamber, this is probably gonna be pretty big. Oh no, this is more like a room sound here. So that's cool, we could bring a little guitar. Then on your guitar, let's see here. You've got all, there's chorus. We could do the old flanger trick. Here's a phaser. Rotary. You can play around with the speed on that. Pitch shift. I don't know about that one. Delay and reverb, this one could be cool, especially on your vocals. We cried like an effigy. That's nice. Chorus and reverb. Let's go back to our Cathedral here. I think on vocals actually, my favorite on here is the gold plate. Beginning of the end, oh, I'll set your ghost out in the wind. take it back here. Let's go back here. I really like the gold plate. It has a really nice sound. We'll just solo the vocals here so you can hear that. Okay.
And this leather-backed book.
That's nice. So
both will call home
with your reverb and stuff, or with all the controls we have, we can choose how much of the reverb we want. You know, like say the whole thing's a little hot. Just bring it down.
I took all of your clothes just
bring
to
in a
hide my guilty arms.
You know, maybe want to pan the reverb over here, like old school.
In gasoline.
Bring it over here.
Well, they could burn
Make it tight. Or we go all the way wide again.
Exposed you were
we could do a little EQing on it. Take the mud out. Yeah, that's nice. Let's see what some of these other effects here. We got a gated reverb. Go back to this guitar. Oh, gated reverse. So that's pretty wild sounding. Then you got straight up reverse. We'll see what this does to the vocals. Ambience. Ambience is nice. Let's see here, reverse.
Gasoline, and no flame burns eternally.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. Well, let's go back here. Let me rewind it a little bit here for you. Yeah, thing sounds great. Now, obviously, well, you reverb however much you want. It's like flavoring, you know? If you want a lot of salt on your food, put a lot. Do you like a lot of reverb? If you like just a little bit, you just put a little bit. It's probably a little warm here. I'd probably make it a little drier than that, but you know, the options that this opens up for you, whether you've got a 4-track, maybe you're running, like I said, a reel-to-reel, or you're doing live mixing. This little unit here, for being so affordable, can really bring some nice color and depth to your mixes. The TC Electronic M100. She's a winner in my book. It's A, affordable, B, easy to use, C, small form factor. I mean, it's a 10 out of 10 in my book. I really love this thing, and I'm really glad I picked it up. Maybe it's the right unit for you. There's all kinds of reverbs out there, and anything will really work, but if you're in the market for a new reverb unit, I wouldn't shy away from this just because it's small and on the low price end. It may just be exactly what you need. Hey, we appreciate when you stop by. If you ever have any questions or comments or anything, feel free to leave me an email at www.sammyandthehigh8s@gmail.com, and I'll be sure to write you back. Hey, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world today, so I hope you're taking time to take care of yourself and do what you love, whether it's making music, art, or doing something good for your friends and neighbors. We'll see you next time.